where's the jit? Represent, that's legit. Ask your mom about it. Coldest story ever told. When the storm had hit my home, I was out there on the road, I ain't had nowhere to go. They used to turn their nose, and man, they done, I suppose this the life I chose. Every day, man, it's a show.
Hey, you all, what is up tonight? It is cold out here. I think this winter storm supposed to be coming in a lot of different areas. So I hope y'all did not go to them people grocery store and rack up like you ain't got no food at the house. So I just hope y'all didn't do that. Hey, we back here on Authentic Ears for another hot topic, another great show, the Midnight Mirror, stuff that we don't want to talk about in the daytime, but you should be talking about it in the daytime. Of course, I have Mr. Spoon coming on, D Spoon, in a little bit, but I do want to let y'all know about this topic next week. That hey, I'm gonna let y'all know in a little bit when D Spoon come on here, and let's bring the man of the, I didn't say the hour, I'm gonna say the 30 minutes of stage. What?
That's all I am. The man.
Why can't somebody see you? You don't want nobody seeing you today?
No, my lighting is terrible. I didn't really get a chance to set up and stuff, but I'm gonna change my lighting here in a second.
Yeah, you don't want nobody to see what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm incognito. I got some illegal things going on, and I just want to make sure it wasn't visible to the audience. Nah.
Look, don't say that because they'll call the people on you.
Right, they go let them know. Matter of fact, yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you get to talking, and then I'm gonna adjust my light here in just a second.
Look, also you gonna let me do some stuff that I want to go ahead on and do anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do what you was gonna do anyway, regardless. So I'm just giving you permission ahead of time to just go ahead and do it while I do what I do. Okay? Good. Can I get permission to do what I do?
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Y'all be at this job and stuff. Y'all be code switching. Y'all be talking a little bit of this, talking a little bit of that. And you know, the topic today, who's really being judged? We see a lot of, I don't say ghetto stuff, because the ghetto is just kind of like a place, so it don't matter what your race is, you can still be ghetto. But a lot of stuff is done and people you don't want to admit that it ain't got nothing to do with race. It's your behavior. You know what I'm saying? So what's really being judged? Because a lot of times, but I will say that some people will do stuff that other people can't do. So we're going to say, okay, who's being judged, what's being judged, or whatever the case may be. For example, Walker. Oh, he back. Look, he back. He back.
Oh, hold up. I need to join a team that be setting up the lights and stuff at all the concerts and stuff like that. That was okay. Yeah, that was all right.
Look, I'm telling you, I don't even know how to. I'm still trying to learn all this little stuff, because I don't know. I think it's somebody. It's a job for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the light thing is just not for me. My life be always active. I don't know if I be going or coming. Look, I don't be knowing if I'm going or coming.
Look, it's hard. Look, it's hard to figure out sometimes because last week I don't know what I had going on. Last week I had a shadow going on. I still kind of got a shadow, but It might not be a shadow to me, but you know, I'm just gonna leave it where it's at, and I'm just gonna rock and roll with it, you know. So hey, it's the Midnight Mirror.
Yeah. So I kind of got into the topic, but I want to ask you, like, did you go to them people grocery store and get all their groceries today?
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
For real. I don't know.
I had specific items to go get. It wasn't the normal like everybody go and get when they panic for a storm. All the tissue, all the paper towels.
Because you should already have all this stuff.
Now I take that back. I did have to get a half a gallon of milk, but I wasn't buying milk to you know what I'm saying, to stock for the next 30 days. I just need a little half a gallon. And mind you, it was only half a gallon.
Two.
Yeah, and I call myself going across town to the bougie side, and they still just out of everything. And I'm like, why is y'all doing this? It probably ain't even finna do nothing if we buy everything.
Hold on. What's the bougie side? See, that's the part of our topic today.
Yes.
Is the race of behavior. Who's
Listen.
really being judged? What do you consider the bougie side?
So most people just want to go down the street and around the corner to get to the store.
So you tell me you stay in the hood?
No, I ain't saying I stay in the hood. When you go down the street and around the corner, that's just a more convenient store to visit. But if you want to go to a store and get all the fresh produce, all the fresh fruit and all that, you got to go a couple miles down the road around the corner and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you're telling me that down the street around the corner, depending on where you say it, do not have fresh produce and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, why do you think that is?
I don't know. That's something I need to look into and research, because just think about it. Every time you go to a store that's most convenient for you as far as travel wise, is it always the most pleasing store? Yes or no? For you?
Yeah, pretty much.
See what I'm saying?
And probably because of the neighborhood that I live in.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's pretty now, but I will say it's two. So where I stay at is 2 Krogers.
Okay.
And I probably need to stop this, and I really do. I'm gonna work on that in 2026, starting today. I'll say, oh, I'm gonna go to the hood Krogers, or I'm gonna go to the Krogers over here,
Right.
and I don't know why I say that. And I guess different Krogers have different stuff.
Right.
You know, so like, I don't know, like the hood Krogers is going to have.
I'm finna cut you off on your own damn show. That's what I'm finna do. Let me see.
They going to have like the good chips and stuff like. And if they have a sale on the drinks, like if I'm having a function because I don't drink soda, like they're gonna have the crushed strawberry. They're gonna have more of that quantity.
Say it right. Say it right. Strawberry.
The crushed strawberry.
Straw with the C.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
People don't understand what you're saying if you're saying it correct. They only understand it when you're saying it wrong.
Look, you know that's wrong, and I have to stop doing that because if I speak in Ebonics, I'll be getting ready to write some stuff. I'll be trying to spell it. I'll be trying to spell it, and then sometimes I have to go back and sound the shit out.
Oh Lord.
The correct way, so I could spell it.
Ain't it crazy that we grow up learning so much shit that's not even right?
Well, in my house, my grandma would beat you upside the head, and you went to mispronouncing words and talking like you ain't got no sense. She'll be like, you sound it. Like, you sound it.
That was she gonna tell you.
It's like straight up, like she she would say, "Hey, that's how. Why are you even doing it? It make you look ignorant." And I guess that'll just roll us right into our topic, even though I kind of hit on it before you had got on here. Race of behavior. Who's really being judged?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start out. What you think of these films?
Well, it's a hell of a topic, honestly. It's a topic I probably wouldn't have never come up with myself because I've never really looked at it in that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first told me about the topic, I didn't quite understand what you was really getting at. But when I really thought about it, I was like, who's really being judged?
For real.
Like, who's really being judged when it comes to race and behavior? Because a lot of people will be quick to say, don't judge me. Stop judging me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being judged because of the color of my skin.
Okay.
But when you really look at it, in a lot of cases, I'm pretty sure, now don't get me wrong, there are a lot of cases where people are being judged for the color of their skin, depending on where they're at, the situation that they're in, the people who they're dealing with. But there's also people being judged because of their behavior, how you act, how you carry yourself. So don't get it mistaken for, you only treat me this way because I'm an African American. You only treat me this way because I'm this ethnicity. But what about your behavior? Some people are judging you based off your behavior, So it's a really exciting topic, and I'm just ready to dive into it. I don't want to take over the show because I don't want to get kicked off the show. So let me be quiet for about 2 seconds.
You something else. Well, my thing is, like, when do we hold people, each group of people, when do we hold them accountable for their behavior and not their race? Because you can be ignorant. Like, when does that become a factor to me? So that's what I have to look at, because you see, social media is crazy. We almost all the talk shows and podcasts, they're talking about how social media is just going straight up, just straight up praise.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of stuff on social media, and they're like, "Oh, they wrong. But, and I'm going to talk about the Black women. Sometimes your behavior can overshadow your race because of the way you're acting. And I'm going to say women in general. Sometimes your behavior, the way you acted, you are at the circus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're at the circus. You're acting a clown, and you're acting the way people think that you should act. Angry, mad, upset, the Karens, the this. But it's sometimes it's their behavior, and that's who they are. But when do we start holding that individual person behavior accountable versus looping everybody that is in that race or ethnic background, looping them into now it's everybody? Is it everybody? Right. If I stand up and cuss out the lady at the counter at the Kroger's, is it everybody that is my ethnic background? Is it everybody, or is it just me because of the way that I'm acting? Because I've been places. I was at a restaurant for brunch on last Sunday. Mm-hmm. First of all, the girls came in there. They was looking a mess. It was real freaking cold outside.
Yeah.
And she had on some cut-off pants. It was too cold to have that on, bottom line.
Right.
And the hostess was saying that it'll be a 20 or 30 minute wait. So the other girl was like, shit, I'm gonna go. I ain't waiting. That's your behavior.
Yeah.
That don't have nothing to do, because in this restaurant, it was a black-owned restaurant. I was sitting in the front. So I've seen everybody to come in, and they were black women, black men, and they didn't say that when they didn't want to wait. They said,
Right.
"Oh, okay, well, we'll come back." And then had you not been rude, they would have told you that they have a larger location not too far from there,
Right.
where the wait is not as long. But
Yeah.
hell no, I ain't waiting that long. So that's your behavior. I
Right.
don't think that I could look up and be like, dang, I don't let women act like that, because I know that that's not true. So give me your take on when do you hold in the individual person accountable, and not loop them into that bias of, hey, this is this ethnic group and this is how they actually act.
Well, each individual in itself, regardless what your ethnicity is, you're held accountable for yourself personally.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's sad that my behavior with one interaction with anybody would cause them to view my whole people or ethnicity as they're all the same.
Yeah.
That's the sad situation that
Yeah.
we have. If I decide to go out, regardless if I'm in a bad mood, fucked up mood, or I don't give a damn. This is just me. This is who I act. This is how I act. If I go out and express myself and act in a way that is unbecoming of how I was raised, as far as respect, the morals and values, that was taught to me. Now everybody's going to judge my people based off how I was acting at that particular.
But should that even be the case versus judging you and your freaking behavior at that time? That should not be the case, because even other ethnic groups or racial groups or whatever you want to call them, because I don't know, they whoever, you see them and you'll say, "Oh, that's trademark trash," because of the way that they're acting. However, that's probably just that individual person.
Right.
That's that individual person, and they don't care how they're acting or how they are perceived, and it makes their entire group be viewed among that. So I think that there is a lot of racial bias when it comes to certain behaviors, because now we're putting different groups in a box, and we're saying that different groups are this certain way. So now we're putting them in that box, and now we're judging everybody that we come across and everybody that we encounter off that one individual person behavior that we have seen on social media. Hey, you guys, like, subscribe, share, Bold and Driven EP. If you want to continue to follow us and see what we're going to be talking about next week, we're going to be talking about some real deep shit. I'm going to get into that at the end of the show. But you might want to tune in, ladies. I am encouraging you to tune in. We got a hot guest, Tracy. She's going to be on here. So you might want to tune in, but like, subscribe, share, Bold and Driven EP. Let me go and get on back to what I was saying. Do you think that people's behavior are excused because of their race?
That's ooh.
And we're gonna talk about this. I call you a racial slur, but then I start being microaggressive. Then I apologize later on. So do we tend to more excuse that behavior and say, "Oh, they just give them a chance," and then because my thing is, if you felt it and you said it, stand on business. That's my thing. I don't care
Correct.
who you are. If that's how you felt at the time, excuse me, if that's how you felt at the time, stand on business.
Yeah.
Don't come with no fake apologies that I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I respect you more for standing on business because that's how you felt. That's how you felt about how people act. That's how you
Yeah.
felt about me at that time. So stand on business, whether your account of me is right or wrong. But don't when other people come for you, then you want to apologize. Because at
Right.
that very moment that you knew you did something wrong, why you didn't apologize right then? Why you have to wait until you get 1,000 views and now you in jeopardy of losing your job? Now you want to go and apologize. So do you think certain behaviors for certain groups of people are excused because of their race?
Absolutely. We've been dealing with that our entire lives. Our entire lives. Like you have groups of people, whether or not we want to say who it is or who it ain't, but we have groups of people that
You
their
can say who it
behaviors
is or who it ain't.
their behaviors are excused because of their race. Like point blank. Like it's been going on like that for years. Like I can go out and do a particular thing, or I can go out and express or exhibit certain behaviors, and you compare those same behaviors with this other race or ethnicity, and guess who's going to be looked at it the worst? Myself.
So let me ask you this, since you are a black man. Why is it? I don't know if you know the answer to this, and we're talking about race and behavior. Why is it that Puerto Rican or Dominican women, when they're aggressive, is considered to be, like it's okay for them, but when black women are aggressive or talk aggressive, they're considered to be angry black women? Is that part of the racial divide that we see on a day-to-day basis?
Now, I'm not sure on that, honestly. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure on that. I think a lot of people could be misunderstood
Mm-hmm.
by how they express themselves.
Okay.
I think at times I can be misunderstood by the look on my face, or just my subtleness. But I think it's just, I think people can be misunderstood instead of really.
So let's talk about facial expressions. A lot of people say I be looking mean all the time. And they contribute that to being mad. Number one, I don't be looking mean. This is the way I look. Look, my brain be on overdrive so much trying to do other stuff. I be thinking about so much stuff that I'm not even thinking about. Like, I don't even see how I look makes another person feel a certain type of way.
Right.
Like, how is it affecting you at this very moment?
I've seen you at times, and I was wondering, like, yeah, I ain't finna fuck with her right now.
What? Oh no!
I'll be like, nah, I ain't finna fuck with her right now. Yeah. How your day going? Yeah.
So you telling me that you telling me that
where you at right now?
You telling me that you be being biased sometimes towards people, not just me, but towards individuals, because you look at how they're looking on their face.
So I would
judge the expression on their face.
Correct. I would judge the situation, because you can look at somebody, you can tell if they want to be bothered or not. Even if you just trying to do just a little friendly gesture, just the little friendly, we passing by, hey, how you doing? Or how most people do the little head nod and hand up. But look, if a person got a certain fucked up face that you don't want to be fucked with, I don't want to fuck with you either. So I'm just gonna go on by my business.
How you know that's not their everyday face?
I don't know, and I don't care.
So we judge people off their facial expressions now.
Everybody, we all do every day. every day. We all do. We all do.
Let me see if I do. I don't really judge people off their facial expression, probably because mine is mine, and I understand that sometimes people be in deep thought. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I get that.
they not even telling you. And sometimes people just look like something thinks all the time. Like, and it's nothing wrong. Like, to me, I just don't judge people off of I judge people off of what come out their mouth.
Yeah.
No
Now,
matter
don't get
who
me
it is.
wrong. I'm not judging them.
You already said you be judging me, so ain't no going back.
I would rather respect a person's space more so than anything. If you don't want to be bothered,
But did they hold on? But did they tell you they don't want to be bothered?
it doesn't matter. I feel like I can read your body language, and if you don't want to be bothered, I'm not going to bother you. If you want to
Okay, but body language and facial expressions are two different things. Do you think?
No.
Why not?
It's all in the same. To me, my opinion, it's all in the same.
I could be laughing and joke with you, and my body language could be like, okay, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I could be like,
that's what your body language is gonna be like.
Yeah, I could be like, yeah, and I could be being condescending the whole time, and I could be having a smile on my face. So how can you equate that and put that all in one thing?
That's just how I see it. Look, Linda. That's just how I look.
Who is Linda?
You know who Linda is. I'm gonna pull that video up and I'm gonna show the whole world because I'm tired of having this dispute about Linda, and we all know who Linda is.
Look, I don't even know who Linda is. Okay, so
spit it out.
Why is it so hard for people to say that was wrong without adding a but in there? That was wrong, but I understand why you did it. It's either wrong or it freaking ain't.
Yeah.
It's either wrong or it's not.
Yeah.
So why is it so hard for somebody to say that was wrong and not saying but? Just straight up saying, D-Spoon, you know you was wrong.
I don't know. But I don't know. Because I guess it's easy for people to say it like that. Hey man, that was wrong, but I understand what you. No, if you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right. Ain't no buts. Quit sugarcoating shit with people.
Yeah.
If they was wrong, if you're a true friend or whatever the case may be, if they were wrong, they were wrong. And tell them, hey bro, hey sis, say my nigga, you was wrong. That was fucked up what you did. You need to write that. You know what I'm saying? You need to make amends for that. Fuck all the buts.
Yeah.
The hell with all that. If you was wrong, you was wrong.
Because we're making excuses for people because of their. I've been guilty of making excuses for my people because they my people.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt their feelings. A lot of people, you don't want to hurt their feelings. That's why they throw the butt in there.
And that was more in the past. I'm normally 99% like straightforward. And I have learned that I do need to scale that back because sometimes people they don't receive that well. So that's why I just don't be in people's business because I don't care. Because your feelings gonna get hurt. So it's kind of like you have to, if you ask me something, I'm gonna give you a straight up answer.
Right.
You know, and I think that nowadays you can't get in people's business because you either gotta be on one side of the fence and they don't want you to be on one side of the fence. They want you to be on some, hey, D-Spoon, you know you was wrong for that, but I kind of understand where you was coming from. So now I'm justifying your bad behavior because I put that but in there, because it cancels everything else out when I say,
Right.
okay, you was wrong. Hey, yeah, you was wrong. You shouldn't have cussed dude out like that. But I understand what you said. No, you either was right or you was wrong. It's no
Exactly.
gray line. It's no straddling the fence. And that's a lot of times that's what we do. We straddle the fence because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't
Right.
want people to feel like, okay, I am against this particular group or this particular person, this particular ethnic group. We don't want people to think that about us, so we don't want to be straightforward. And then now, day after day, we're carrying on this bad behavior
Right.
because we are not holding people accountable for their behavior, regardless of what their race is. We are making excuses depending on either their race, their social status, their educational background. We are making too many excuses, you know, in my opinion, for people and their bad behavior. People be
Right.
on their worst behavior at times, and we will find a way to make an excuse for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And there is no excuse for bad behavior, ignorant behavior,
Yeah,
behavior that is unbecoming of you as an individual, regardless of your race, religion, creed, color, da, 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 da. There is no excuse for it. You
yeah,
know, and a lot of people try to come up with excuses where this is the reason why I act this way. This is the reason why I talk this way. No, you do that because that's what you choose to do. There
yeah.
isn't, I don't feel like there are specific instances that took place in your life to make you behave the way you do on a consistent basis. Because you can go through whatever the hell you want to go through in life and you can still be somebody. I'm not gonna act a certain way my entire life based off what I went through in my
Mhm.
past. You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna learn from that. I'm gonna become stronger from that. Yeah, it may have been some fucked up shit that happened in my past, but when I look at myself today, who I am today is not. It's kind of half and half. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, I'm a reflection of what I've been through in my life." No, I don't want to be a reflection of what I've been through
yeah,
in my life.
yeah.
I want to be seen on a daily basis, and if I told you my story, you wouldn't even want to believe my story because you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't think people's story is for everybody. A
Correct.
lot of times we tell our story to the wrong people, and then
Yeah.
they end up being judgmental about your story. They end up putting you in the category of your story. But like you just said, if I never told you, you wouldn't have never knew.
Correct.
So you wouldn't have never knew. So now that you know, now you're putting me in this category, whether it is racial, whether it's where I grew up at, anything. So we're
Yeah.
putting people in categories, and I don't think everybody's story is for everybody. And you could say it's shocking. Some people be like, I'm an open book, I'm a closed book, because why do you want to be over here? You don't even read books. Like, you don't even read, but you
Yeah.
want to read my book, so you can have something to talk about. And sometimes I think that people will use that for to justify their bad behavior. So if you tell some people your story, they'll say, well, you did it. Yeah, I did it, but that don't have nothing to do with where I came from. A lot of the stuff, if not all, it's the choices that we made, or I'll say the choices that we made, because sometimes you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But did you have an opportunity to pivot and not go down that path? So
Correct.
you have like this, you have a fork in the road, so you determine which way you want to go, and you have to have self-love for yourself to make a decision to say, okay, no, this is not right. Some people moral compass though does not allow them, to make those decisions. And I don't know what it is, because I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or anything like that, but some people moral compass don't allow them to make the right decision. So, do you think that acknowledge and race, does that also make it a way to avoid accountability? Say, think about it. Example, we see a whole bunch of hood rats on the TV. Yes, I said it, on social media fighting. They pulling hair out, and will, for us, and I'm talking about me because I grew up in the black community, we'll be like, look at them, they in the black community. However, sometimes my algorithm is different. So I see a lot of whites that in the trade walk, they doing the same thing. But you don't see it because the algorithm is set up for you to see what you stream a lot.
Right.
So just come up on my page because I'm not going to stream that because you will get caught up in that mess and I ain't going to give you a whole bunch of views to make money. So do you think that when that happens, it's kind of like a brush off and saying, oh, that's just them girls from down there in the hood. That's how they are.
Yeah. I think, well, and this is probably a little bit off subject, so forgive me, but in a lot of cases, I think a lot of people's behavior is contingent upon the crowd that they're around.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you are around a more, how do I say it, upscale crowd, people that's more mature, you know, you're going to act more mature. You're going to be more relaxed, more laid back. But then you have people that they can do that same thing around that more mature and relaxed, calm, cool, and collective crowd, but let them get around a more rowdy crowd and watch who they become.
So
have
you
ever seen
people,
that?
yeah, you think people could code switch, basically.
People code switch. Yeah, people do that. And if you're not careful, you can find yourself amongst, like you say, you from the hood. I don't know, but I don't know if it's really true or not. I'm gonna have to do my research and everything. But you say you're from the hood, but you can be where you are in life right now.
I said this is where I grew. And I said this is where I grew up at.
Look, you from where you from, but you are where you are now. But if I put you in the hood, and look, everything is jumping off, it's going crazy. You're going to be over there on top of the couch and on top of the tables, you know, doing all that hooping and hollering and shit, or you going to be...
That's so not true, because I am not standing on these people's furniture.
So you ain't getting on the table.
No.
Doing that hip-hop, bibbidi-bop.
No. No. Okay. No, because I wasn't raised to stand on furniture. We couldn't even sit on the arm of the couch.
Don't even run through the house. Don't even run.
So we couldn't sit on the arm of the couch. So therefore, I'm not going to go out to somebody else's establishment. I don't even care if I go to a hood club, which I don't even go to clubs like that no more. But if I did, I still wouldn't stand on them people's furniture.
Yeah.
I just would not do it. And I'm not gonna equate that to being from the hood or being this or being that's ghetto, because the ghetto is the way the environment is. It ain't got nothing to do with black and white or whatever. If you from the ghetto, you from the ghetto, and when you go out, you do ghetto stuff. Right. Then no matter what race you are, you do ghetto stuff, and you do it all the time. But I'm not standing on them people's furniture. And then I fall, then I'm mad because I done got these stilettos on. My pinky toe already hurt.
I'm finna go stand on their furniture this weekend in the snow because there ain't gonna be a whole lot of people out. You
must be standing on your own furniture at your own house.
I'm gonna get a section this weekend since I know ain't gonna be a whole bunch of people in there because they can't drive in the snow and the ice. So I'm finna go on and get me a section. I know it's probably gonna be cheap. I probably get it half off because ain't nobody gonna be in there. So yeah, just me and the DJ. We're gonna have that motherfucker rocking.
And look, so I do want to say this. I'm gonna ask this final question, and I think that you will probably can go a little bit down the rabbit hole with this, and I'm gonna touch on it a little bit. So, do you think different races are punished differently for the same behavior.
Yes.
We could do out in the street, or we could do at the job. Do you think different races are punished differently for the same behavior?
For the same behavior? Absolutely. Yeah. See it all the time. Seen it in the past.
Yeah.
Seen it in the present. I'm sure I'll see it in the future. It's
Yeah.
sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
I can do the same thing a particular person did, and because I did it, it's just the worst thing ever.
It's just the worst thing ever.
It's the worst thing ever because I did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Susie did it too. Tim and John did it too in the exact same fashion I did it, but the fact that I did it, oh, that was the icing on the cake. Bam.
Why are you saying that people Susie and Tim and John?
We know who Tim, John, and Sue them is. Come on now. We on the real, the raw, and the relevant. We know who Tim, John, Sue, and all of them is. Come on now.
Well, go ahead.
It's sad, but it's reality. When it comes to race, it's really sad. I really don't feel that we were all put on the face of this earth to be in opposition. There's no way. Whatever a person wants to see it as, a God, a creator, whoever you believe in, your higher power, I feel like we were not put on earth as a race, as a not a race, but as a people, everybody together to be in opposition.
Yeah.
It's who would do that?
It's so much opposition out here, and it's so crazy. Even like in politics, I don't even really follow politics that much, but on both sides, sometimes and I think I was reading something, I don't know if it was the New York Times, wherever I was reading it recently, where it was saying like on the political standpoint, more people are they're identified as being an independent versus a Republican and a Democrat because of the way both parties are acting, not the individual person. So when it goes based on politics, I think you see it so much there that just because you voting for people just because they this race,
right?
You know what I'm saying, or this political party, or they are. Because when you talk about race and behavior, let's put everything in that little melting pot. Am I going with this person because of their political party, or because I believe in what they're putting out? So a lot of times we vote for people. I'm gonna put the black man in there. And then when he getting there fucked up, or messed up, excuse my French, now we mad. But when you look at it, he was not qualified in the beginning, and that's vice versa. That white man up in there. But if he do a good job, do we equate it should have been somebody else in there? And I'm gonna use this for example because that's where I'm from, Arkansas. A lot of people they talk about we're going to talk about race and behavior on this one. A lot of people talk about old Sarah down there because she out there, she's something else. However, in 2024, she said, quote, I ain't gonna say quote because I don't know exactly what she said. If you do X, Y, and Z, then, and we're talking about the sentencing guidelines, then you're going to be sentenced to X, Y, and Z. Now, she told you this back in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking to my people now, but you went out and did it, and now you talking about she needs to be out of office. Look how but she already told you what it was. So a lot of times we are justifying the bad behavior and we're putting people in categories when you shouldn't even, why did you even do it? And they told you what it was gonna be.
Oh, they thought it was a game.
Oh, they thought it was a game.
They thought it was a game. Oh, she ain't talking about nothing. Look, you know how people, you know when your mama used to tell you, all right, you take your black ass out there if you want to. I'm gonna show you thought it was a game. When you got back home and your mama did exactly what she said she was gonna do, told that ass up because you thought it was a game.
Look, that is a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way. You thought it was a game.
You thought it was a game.
But we equate that into that, like, it's just crazy how we throw race in everything and we don't take accountability for the behavior of the individual person and the individual person actions. And that also go into play when don't get mad about my reaction after you done did something now. Now you mad because I reacted a certain kind of way after you done did something to me to make me act that way, regardless if I'm right or wrong. Then I think that's when it boils back over into race. I don't know, look how you act. Now hold on now, let's tell the whole story on why I cussed you out.
Right.
Let's tell the whole story. And is my behavior right? Could I walk away? But why am I gonna keep on walking away if you keep on poking the bear?
Yeah. Let's take race out of majority of the circumstances in life and see where we end up at. Just take race out. Like let's not be able to use race as an excuse.
Let's just have a list of behavior.
Let's take race out. I can't say, oh, it's because I'm black, or it's because I'm white, or you treat me this way because I'm Hispanic. You treat me this way because I'm this. Take all this shit out and let's just get straight down to behaviors.
Yeah.
And see where we end up at. Like if I was running for a political office, that would be the first thing that I would say. I would stand on the podium. I was like, well, the first thing that I'm going to do when I'm elected is that I'm going to take race out of the conversation. You can no longer use race for anything. That would be the first thing I'm going to do.
That's what you going to do.
Yeah, like for real. Take race out. Like, let's all just take race out. Yeah.
How you think that's going to fly with the people?
I'm going to do my hand like all the presidents and stuff like Barack did. Listen to me. And listen to me carefully.
You play too much.
No, but for real, just think about it. If you take race out of the equation, because a lot of people use race for excuse. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
Oh, really?
I'm guilty of it. Yeah. If things don't go my way, especially on a job that you had, and I had several jobs, I didn't get the promotion that I was promised. I didn't get the raise that I was promised. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. What's the first thing that popped up in my mind? Oh man, they hate like a motherfucker because I'm black.
So
now say that ain't what we do. Say that ain't what we do.
Now looking back, what do you think would be the reason why you didn't get that promotion at that time or that raise at that time?
So now that I look at it in a mature aspect, it was either because I wasn't qualified, I didn't meet the criteria, I didn't, somebody else was more fitting for the role than I was, but I didn't want to view it in that way.
Okay.
And in my eyes, look, I'm the man. I got this. I got this. But had I been given those opportunities in those positions, it could have been an utter failure. Who knows?
Yeah.
But back then, I'm looking at it in a race aspect, especially if somebody of a different race got it before I did. And that's just the fucked up way we view things.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it like, oh, bro is more qualified, or she does meet the criteria more so than I do. Instead of just facing reality and looking at it for what it is, the truth. We want to throw the race thing out there. That's why I say get rid of the race card, get rid of that shit. But I don't know how we're gonna go about doing that.
But look, we're talking about it on the Midnight Mirror. You heard it here from D Spoon. Sometimes you is not qualified for that position. It ain't got nothing to do with race. D Spoon said it. I didn't say it. But I can feel that because look, I was applying for this job, y'all. I was nowhere near qualified to do it. And had I got that position, it would have been some straight shenanigans.
Oh Lord.
I'm telling you right now, it wouldn't. I learned easy. Like I knew what I needed to do, but to hold that particular position, like you said, like it was a couple of more things that I needed to do prior to getting that position. Like so, I would have had to overcome it if I was offered the position because I had the basis. But it was a couple of more things that was 100% required that you had to have to be successful, you know, in that position. And like you said, as you get older and as you get more mature, you start looking at the overall total concept of the decision making for certain things. I'm not gonna say it's for everything, but when you actually start getting older, you actually start looking at, hey, what decisions are being made and why. And when you put those things in perspective, then you can say, okay, yes, I was deserving of this, but I didn't get it because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So you can say that, but a lot of times we will equate race, behavior, who I am, what I look like into not getting certain positions. Y'all heard it here on the Midnight Mirror with Kenya B and D Spoon. Tune in next week. We are going to have a guest here and we're going to be talking about it. Narcissistic mothers. And it's going to be a very hard conversation for a lot of people. A lot of people are not going to want to hear it. And next week we're going to be specifically talking about whether to go stay in contact or go no contact at that time. A lot of stuff goes on in the Black community, so we're gearing all the way up for that, for all the topics that we have, because we talking about today race and behavior. You know, a lot of times, is it our behavior that stops us from progressing in life? Is it our behavior at that job where it's aggressiveness and not being assertive? It's two different things when you're on the job and you being assertive than being aggressive and being a bully and things like that. So we have to look at all that and we have to take a snapshot of ourselves. And you could do that every Thursday at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Midnight Mirror. So you could come on here, you could take a snapshot of yourself and you could say, does this apply to me or does it not apply to me? Like, subscribe, and share. Bold and Driven EP on YouTube. We got a lot of things coming up. TMI News should be coming back pretty soon. I thought he was coming back this week. You see how he do me? Now I'm gonna have to hit him up. I want to give a shout out and say happy birthday because today is Natasha, producer. It is her birthday today, so I want to give a shout out to her and tell her happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I would sing, but I ain't had my tea yet.
You ain't had your tea yet?
Yeah, I ain't had my tea. Well, I would sing happy birthday to you. Oh yeah, I ain't. Yeah,
Don't sing you. And yesterday was Tate's birthday. Hey, D Spoon, you got any last words or words of wisdom to the people that you want to say before we close out this Midnight Mirror?
Get rid of the race card, everybody. Just throw it out the window. Quick, get rid of it. But it's sad because a lot of shit has to do with race. A lot of people are treated the way they are treated because of who they are, because of what they stand for. But I think if we decide to just one by one, little by little, stop leaning on that, then we can, finally get rid of it. Truth of the matter is that it's here, is relevant. Race, prejudice, bias, it's all there. but we have to make a decision not to keep feeding into it. That's what keeps it going, because we are constantly feeding into it. Not just we as Black people, but we as all races. We are constantly feeding into it, and it's keeping the racial issue going. So if we, one by one, individually, starting with me, stop feeding into the race wars, the race fires, the racial slurs, or whatever the case may be, then maybe, just maybe, we can get rid of it.
Y'all heard it from D Spoon. Look, my closing remarks, I'm gonna say, be yourself. Take accountability for your behavior and how you act. Don't, if you already know you out of pocket, you already know you out of compliance, don't go around telling them people that somebody picking on you. You was picking on yourself when you went and you was acting any kind of way. You was showing your natural that's how you were acting. So you need to take accountability for yourself, your own behavior, and how you want to be perceived to people out in the public. Do we lose our cool? Yes, we do. Everybody loses their cool, because there's only so much somebody could take. And I'm telling you, the way the world is now, people are 2 snaps from slapping you. So you can't just really be running up on people saying whatever you want to say to people.
Right.
People, I'm telling you, it's the groceries high, the insurance high. You got to go to work and deal with the people. They high.
High in the motherfucker.
For real. So you have everybody has so many different stressors that you do not know what you're going to get out that person if you push them the wrong way. If you're having a bad day, stay at home. I hope y'all are able to meditate over this so-called storm that is going to come, because I'm out here in Texas. They don't know how to drive in the bad weather. It's going to be horrible out there. I ain't going to be out there slipping the slide, But if y'all want to hear more on the Midnight Mirror, Authentic Ears, you got to tune in. Next week, we're going to be talking about narcissistic mothers. We're going to have a guest on here. Tracy, do you want to go contact or no contact? You got to pick and choose which one you want to do. Hey, that's it. We are out of here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, just being a supported partner of Bold and Driven EP. And we are about to go. I think I'm a little tired, but I don't think I'm a little tired. You tired?
Look, I was at first, but now I'm good. I'm probably finna go down. I'm gonna have to Google and see if this spot open. This
what time is it?
This
you
club.
Want the club?
I'm gonna see if this club open since I probably ain't gonna have to go to work tomorrow. I might have to go. You know how kids used to be.
So you waiting on the snow day.
You know how the kids used to be, it might snow tomorrow, so I'm gonna be up by 6 o'clock. I'm gonna be looking at the bottom of the screen to see.
Look, they do not
even my job counselor in the morning.
I think they do it now, but now they kind of just go on the screen and go to talking about it. So you try to see your job counsel today?
Yeah, I'm gonna be up in the morning looking at the bottom of the screen to see if they say counsel or not, and then.
Or you gonna be waiting on that phone call?
No, I don't want no phone call. Don't call me.
No, just at the bottom of the screen say counsel.
Just put me at the bottom of the screen. Don't call me, don't text, don't send an email. Put me at the bottom of the screen like the school district used to do back in the day.
Look.
Pulaski County School District.
Close. Little Rock School District. Close.
That's all I need to see. And look, as soon as I seen that, them covers going back over my head.
But you know what? It kind of depend on. Look, we off topic, but we still on topic. It kind of depend on what was going on in the house at that time, because hell, if we ain't had no food, I needed to go to school.
Do you hear me?
Look, I needed to go to school. But when I really think about it, I was talking to my sister, and I was like, I don't really remember. We didn't have much. I don't remember like starving. Like it was like we had it wasn't no meat on the table every single day. So, but we had some. My grandma made a way whether it was some rice, and then she used to put the ragu sauce on it. That's probably why I don't like red sauce now. Like, 'cause why was the regular sauce on top of the rice with the chopped up onions and mushroom?
That was a gourmet meal.
It was the best thing ever.
That was a gourmet meal.
If you want to know more about that gourmet meal, you need to tune in next week. Like, subscribe, and share Bold and Driven. Follow Authentic Ears on YouTube. Also, if you need a personal workout plan, holla at your girl, Miss New Fit. Follow me on YouTube. We are about to be out of here, you guys.
And if you need a pastor, follow me on www. I'm out.
Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been about 30 days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been about 30 days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been about 30 days since I was legit. Real raw, relevant, that's just it, yeah. I've been about 30 days since I was legit. Represent, that's legit. Ask your mom about it. Coldest story ever told. When the storm had hit my home, I was out there on the road, I ain't had nowhere to go. They used to turn their nose, hey man, they done, I suppose this the life I chose. Every day, man, it's a show.